to Eagle Eye News at 6.
Eagle Eye TV has done a great job.
Welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6.
We are just having a great time here in Auburn, Alabama. The party is not over yet.
Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Brady Huneycutt.
And I'm Chapman. Thank you for joining us.
The flooding of Cambridge Residence Hall left hundreds of incoming residents devastated and without housing back in 2023. Now the building is being destroyed as Auburn prepares to place an all-new Cambridge Residence Hall in its place. Eagle Eye's Lucas Hazelrig has more.
As the summer of 2023 came to an end just days before move-in day, Auburn University sent an email to the hundreds of incoming Cambridge Hall residents announcing that they would need to find a new place to stay for the upcoming school year as water damage in the dorm made the building essentially a lost cause. The university attempted to make things square with all the families affected by refunding all their expenses towards Cambridge, temporarily placing residents in local hotels, and providing an additional $5,000 to each family to help with last-minute housing costs. While the situation definitely wasn't ideal for any of the parties involved, Auburn's Associate Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Brian Rush, worked with his team to try and make things right, and now they're in the midst of tearing down the building to build an all-new Cambridge on the same plot where one of Auburn's most historic residence halls once stood strong.
This is going to mirror the old Cambridge. We're going to be working to try to get 680 beds roughly in that space, so it'll not quite be double what the old Cambridge occupancy was. But it will be 2 beds per room sharing a bath. Originally, we had thoughts of perhaps stripping it down to the studs and then renovating it around that. But as we got further into that study, we saw that from a time standpoint and from a money standpoint, it really made more sense to raise the building, demolish the building, and start from scratch on that footprint. And that's what we're doing today.
Even with the flooding being almost 3 years ago, current Auburn students who were affected by the incident can still remember the way it shaped their first year here on the Plains. I had the chance to talk with Rachel Everett, current Auburn junior, who was set to live in Cambridge Hall in 2023.
The kind of uncertainty of where I would live, I am new to Auburn. My parents didn't go to Auburn. We weren't familiar with, how housing really worked here. I didn't realize how, crazy everything is and how the leasing system works. So, trying to pivot and work from that was kind of a little difficult.
Dr. Rush explained that Cambridge is definitely going to be open in the fall of 2028 after potentially beginning construction as early as this summer. For Auburn's news leader, I'm Lucas Hazelrig.
Thank you, Lucas. Dr. Rush also added that the budget for this project would be done $100 million. For more information on the new Cambridge, visit our website, eagleeyeauburn.com.
Yesterday, various organizations across campus collaborated to celebrate the Lunar New Year. Lunar New Year is a festival of and good fortune with traditions like performances, dinners, and festivities. This event was held in the Student Center Ballroom with hundreds in attendance. Participants shared their highlights of the event.
Probably the food. Yeah, the food is good as probably food, yeah. But not gonna lie, I don't know how the stuff I was eating. I think there was some chicken, spicy chicken, some noodles. It was good.
Okay. Cultures are not for just a certain group of people, and that anyone can participate and learn about others.
On Tuesday, Auburn's UPC hosted their own Mardi Gras in the Student Center Ballroom. The event featured a seafood boil with crawfish, Mardi Gras famous king cake, as well as face masks to decorate.
I got an invite told there was going to be some crawfish. This is going to be a nice Mardi Gras parade going on here, so I figured why miss that. So yeah, this is my first time actually getting crawfish. Last time I tried, I couldn't open it right, so I thought it was really good. It was really, really tasty crawfish.
I like to go to a lot of the UPC events. A lot of my friends are in UPC, so I thought it was a cool event to go to. I think the band is a vibe. It's really making the Mardi Gras mood, and I think it's really fun. It's really good.
When we come back, you'll have a weather update with Annabelle Whetstone and a political update with Tessa Allen. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. My name is Annabelle Whetstone, here with your weather outlook for the rest of the week here on the Plains. We are expecting a dry week with potential rainfall only on Thursday. Temperatures will drop on Monday to a high of 43 and a low of 29. However, after that, they will be slowly rising throughout next week. Looking into this weekend, we're seeing rainy conditions and cloudy skies. The highs are in the low 70s and the lows are in the high 50s and low 60s. That's all I have for you. When we come back, you'll have a political update from Tessa Allen. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6.
Good evening and welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Tessa Allen with Eye on the Hill to give you all things politics. Midterm election season is coming up quick with early voting for the primaries taking place soon. In North Carolina, college students in Gulf Ford County took to the streets late last week to protest a ruling about elections. They reacted after a federal judge ruling meant there won't be early voting polling sites on campus. Bethany Cates spoke with students.
Access delayed is not access denied. Take it or not, we're still going to show up and vote.
After deliberation with both county and the State Board of Elections, college students in Guilford County are learning they will not have early voting polling sites on campus. 60 North Carolina A&T students went to Raleigh to make their case, and they say this is what they were told.
Students at A&T don't actually vote. They only show up when we take something away. So we're here to show them that we actually do vote on the first day that primaries begin.
Students argued this violated the 26th Amendment by targeting voting sites used predominantly by college students, while the defendants claim they have never located early voting sites at NCA&T or UNCG for midterm cycles, and therefore the decision to not do so is justified by longstanding practice. A source tells WXII for further clarification, for every election there is a new early voting plan, and the board is not bound by past plans. And it was also added that historically there have been more sites used in presidential cycles than midterms. And while the judge denied a motion for temporary preliminary injunction, students feel like now they have to get creative.
Not everyone has access to cars, so we have to carpool, Uber.
Not everyone comes to A&T for 4 years and leaves. We come and we stay here, and this is our community now.
The judge said the order doesn't constitute a final decision on the lawsuit, saying it was only a denial of temporary relief. Although Alabama does not have early voting, there is talks about voting rights for college students. U.S. President Donald Trump hosted representatives from several nations in Washington on Thursday for the first peace board. With over 40 nations in attendance, Trump held the first ever Board of Peace meeting discussing ceasefire plans in Gaza. The member states in the board have agreed to contribute $7 billion to the reconstruction of Gaza, and the United States is contributing $10 billion to the Board of Peace for Gaza redevelopment. Many citizens and congressmen fear about the development of this board because of its possibility to undermine the United Nations. Trump states he plans to put effort to strengthen the UN. He states the Board of Peace is to help develop, quote, hotspots around the world. President Donald Trump hopes to grow this board despite even allied nations' increased concern over the power and place of this board in global issues. The war in Gaza erupted in 2023 and has been a continuation of inconsistent ceasefire for about a year. But as of today, President Donald Trump says that the war in Gaza is over.
The war in Gaza is over. It's over. There are little flames. Hamas has been, I think they're going to give up their weapons, which is what they promised. If they don't, it'll be, they'll be harshly met, very harshly met. They don't want that.
The entire world watches to see if the war in Gaza is really finally coming to an end. Protests against the war in Gaza have been evident in the U.S., and with the war coming to an end, there's hope for peace in Gaza and around the world regarding constant views surrounding the war. That's all with Eye on the Hill, but when we get back, you will get a national news update from the desk. I'm Tessa Allen, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. FEMA has been ordered to stop all travel for its workers. The Department of Homeland Security issued that edict on Tuesday due to the partial government shutdown affecting the agency. What it means in reality is FEMA boots on the ground can continue their work, but no new workers can help, and deployed employees can't come home until their projects are completed. More than 300 FEMA responders preparing for assignments have been told to stand down. The order is baffling because the Federal Emergency Management Agency is not funded by the budget that has stalled in Congress. Its operations are mostly covered by a separate disaster relief fund. In December, it had about $7 billion in it.
Pope Leo will not take part in President Donald Trump's proposed Board of Peace. Tuesday, the Vatican's top diplomat said the Holy See believes the United Nations should be left to handle international crisis situations. The board, which will be chaired indefinitely by Trump, was originally created to oversee reconstruction of Gaza, but it has since expanded into a global peacekeeping body. The Vatican declined the invitation, saying it was perplexed by parts of the plan, citing what it called critical unresolved issues. While some countries plan to attend as observers, several other nations, including Britain, France, and Norway, have also declined to participate. The Board of Peace is set to hold its first meeting in Washington on Thursday.
Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg is set to testify Wednesday in a landmark social media addiction case. The plaintiffs, a 20-year-old woman and her mother, accused Meta and YouTube of intentionally designing addictive and harmful features. Zuckerberg has repeatedly gone before Congress to address concerns about his company. Wednesday will be the first time he testifies in front of a jury. Claire Duffy has the latest.
This is absolutely going to be one of the biggest days in this trial. Mark Zuckerberg taking the stand to testify for the first time before a jury about these claims that his platforms have harmed young users. And also in the audience are going to be families, parents who say their children were harmed or died as a result of social media. And what I think is really remarkable is that among the parents that are flying from around the country into LA in hopes of securing a seat in this courtroom are parents who are also in the audience in 2024 on Capitol Hill, in that moment that you'll remember where Mark Zuckerberg turned around to face families and apologize for the harms that they say their children experienced online. Now, we expect that Mark Zuckerberg tomorrow will be asked questions that try to get at the reasonableness of the steps that this company has taken to try to protect teens and children on the platform. These questions that are going to ask what the company knew about the potential risks to young people and whether it did enough. And we know that there are internal Meta documents that have come out in the course of this litigation that suggest, for example, that only a small number of teen users as of around this time last year were actually enrolled in parental oversight tools. So those are the kinds of things that we think that Mark will get asked about during his testimony. I'm also told by legal experts that it's going to be very important how Zuckerberg presents on the stand. Does the jury find him likable and trustworthy? So lots to watch there. And just a reminder of what the stakes are here for both Meta and YouTube, which are the defendants in this case. If the jury sides with the plaintiff here, that could set a precedent for hundreds of other similar cases to be resolved in a similar way and potentially put these companies on the hook for billions of dollars in damages and also require them to make changes to their platforms. Now, this moment is especially critical for Meta, given that at the same time that this LA trial is going on, the company is also standing trial in a separate case in New Mexico, accusing the company of being complicit in child sexual exploitation on its platform. So two really critical trials happening at the same time. Meta has denied the claims in both of them, and with regards to this LA trial, the company says it strongly disagrees with these claims and that it thinks that its record of protecting young users online will speak for itself. Of course, ultimately going to be up to the jury to decide. Back to you.
When we come back, you'll get an entertainment update from Olivia Oakley. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Olivia Oakley, here to give you your entertainment news for the week. Michelle Yeoh has reached official star status. On Wednesday, the Academy Award-winning actress left her mark on Hollywood and was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yo starred in recent box office hits such as Wicked and Everything Everywhere All at Once, but she's been building her career in the film industry since the 1990s. The Malaysian-born actress started out in Hong Kong action movies, such as the historic smash hit Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which grossed over $213 million worldwide. At 63 years old, she's appeared in over 70 movies and TV productions. Also present at the ceremony were Asian directors John M. Chu and Ang Lee, who have worked with Yo over the years. In other movie news, Bad Bunny will be entering the film world as the lead role in the historical drama Puerto Rico. The artist has been busy this month, performing at the Super Bowl and making history by taking home Album of the Year. He'll now star in a film inspired by true events accompanying Puerto Rico's origins that's described as an epic Caribbean Western. Also starring alongside him are Edward Norton, Javier Bardem, and Viggo Mortensen. No official release date has been announced yet. For all of our viewers out there that fight flatulence, this is for you. Scientists are creating smart undies that measure past gas to monitor gut microbiome health.
There's something strange in the air over at the University of Maryland, where researchers say they've created smart underwear designed to measure human flatulence. It's science, people. According to a press release, the garment, which was the subject of a 2025 study, features a snap-in device that tracks intestinal productivity around the clock in an effort to gain a better understanding of where most people fall on the flatulence spectrum, represented here by this cheeky diagram. See what I did there? All kidding aside, the university says the smart undies are like a glucose monitor, but for intestinal gas, and says it could open the door to measuring gut microbial metabolism if they can find some volunteers to try it on, and more importantly, try it out.
WWE star Logan Paul has sold a Pokemon card for over $16 million. It's hard to imagine this small card bringing in millions of dollars, but that's exactly what happened at an auction this past Monday. The card was Logan Paul's Holy Grail, a rare Pikachu Illustrator card he purchased 5 years ago for over $5 million. There were only about 40 of these cards ever printed, and this card was graded 10, which made it even rarer in quality. To showcase the card, it had been placed in a diamond-encrusted necklace. This card broke records for the auction price of a trading card at $16.5 million, and Logan Paul is estimated to retain more than $8 million after auction fees. That's all I have for you today. When we come back, you'll get a business consumer update from Lucy and Brady. I'm Olivia Oakley, and you're watching Eagle Eye News at 6.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. The private entity that handles licenses for the Trump Organization has filed trademark applications for the name of a South Florida airport. The filings were submitted just days before the Florida State House passed a bill on Tuesday to rename the Palm Beach International Airport after President Donald Trump. Democratic lawmakers raised concerns that the trademark filing could allow the family to profit from the renaming. A Trump Organization spokesperson says the trademark would prevent bad actors from misusing the name, and the family will not receive any royalty. The bill now heads to the Florida Senate.
Microsoft is planning to invest $50 billion to expand artificial intelligence in poorer developing countries. The company made the announcement Wednesday at a global AI summit in India. A recent report found AI use in wealthier countries is about twice that of developing regions. Executives warn the growing AI divide could mirror past gaps like unequal access to electricity. Microsoft leaders say the investment will focus on infrastructure like data centers and internet access. The tech giant says it is aiming to make the investments by 2030.
Can a restaurant call boneless wings wings? A federal judge says the answer is yes. He threw out a lawsuit challenging the Buffalo Wild Wings menu, saying, quote, "no meat on its bones." The judge says most people understand the products are made of chicken breast. The lawsuit is from an Illinois man who claims he thought they were deboned chicken wings. The judge points out most people don't think cauliflower wings contain meat. Buffalo Wild Wings defended itself in a tweet the year the lawsuit was filed. It wrote, quote, "Our hamburgers contain no ham. Our buffalo wings are 0% buffalo." Responses included jokes about how French fries are not French, Mountain Dew does not contain mountains, and hot dogs, you get it. We're out of time, but for more Auburn news, head over to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, and check out our social media pages. I'm Brady Huneycutt.
And I'm Lucy Chapman. Thank you for watching, and War Eagle.